Alright, what I'm doing today is a follow-up video to the previous video I made about how to fix the holes in your cabinet doors when you are upgrading your hinges and the holes no longer match up. So in my previous video I showed you how I drilled these holes out and installed the wooden dowels with wood glue and cut them to fit and filled those holes in, and it's been overnight now that I let these sit and dry. I'm ready to come back and drill the new holes, and I'm just going to show you today how I'm doing that. Pretty simple process, but essentially what I'm doing is taking these new hinges and lining them up with, I'm centering this top hole. I can see a little bit of where the previous hole was up there at the top. I'm just taking my, let me set this up so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing here. I know you're not going to get a downward view, but this old hole I can see is lined up with the center of this hole, and so what I'm going to do is just press this hinge up against the edge of the cabinet door as far as possible, hold it in place while I mark the center just using a regular ink pen. I'm going to do the center of all three holes, which is going to give me my marks where I'm going to start my new pilot holes. So after I've got the centers marked, I can take my drill and mark and drill right down. Just line up your drill bit with the size, with the new hole that you've made. And go ahead and re-drill your new holes where your screws are going to go in for your new hinges. Now when selecting the size drill bit that you're going to need, I looked at the size of the thread, see if you can see that on the screw that I'm going to be using, and I compared it to the drill bit, and I selected a drill bit that was just under the size of the metal cylinder that runs through here, ignoring the threads. The threads is what is going to bite into the wood, but I made my selection of drill bit about a size smaller than the actual steel core that runs right through the middle. Not the size of the threads, but the cylinder on the inside. Alright. So this is what it looks like now. You can see the old holes and then the new holes. And now what I'm going to do is take my new hinge. See how that's going to fit there quite nicely. I've got two drills set up. I've got one, just because I happen to have an extra drill, I've got one set up with my drill bit, and then another one set up with my screw bit. I'm doing these one hinge at a time. I didn't want to go through and mark them all and then come back and drill them all and then come back and install them all. I'm doing each one individually, that way I know each one is matched up for the hole. Now, your drill may or may not have a chuck, an adjustable stop on this, but it's down all the way on the lowest setting, so when I screw in, I can't, it automatically stops. It's pressure sensitive, and if I were to turn that selector all the way to the other side, increasing the number there all the way to the drill, if I were to drill on that now, it wouldn't stop. It would just keep on spinning and you'll waller out your hole. But if you turn this all the way down, you're going to be able to use it, and it's going to automatically know when to stop. That way you don't damage your hole. So I'm going to continue to do that with all of my other ones. Here's a couple of the doors I've already hung, and that's just fingerprints. I'm going to come back and wipe all those off, have a good finish there. Here's another one I put up. So looks like it turned out pretty good. I think it's a good solution to a problem that a lot of people have had. So alright, that's how I did it. Thanks.